This is Too Long for a Voice Note, a podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. Presented by Claire
and Enzo. Our podcast is produced in London. Some conversations are just too long for a voice note.
Hey, he's Enzo.
And she's Claire.
And this is Too Long for a Voice Note.
Hi guys. Hi Claire.
Hello.
Hi everyone.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of the podcast.
Too long for a voice note.
We'll get everything out of the way right at the top of the episode. Please remember to
subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your brothers, tell your family, sisters, cousins. Everyone in your life.
Share us till the end of time. But guys, thank you so much
thank
for
you
watching
very much. And
commenting
and all of those things.
Yeah.
And as we said last week, we were about to to open a new social media platform for the podcast. And guys, we're officially on TikTok. Yes.
Two millennials try to be Gen Z.
This is gonna be painful, so I hope you are with us on this, following us and comment on little TikToks, because we're trying to get with the Gen Zs.
Completely. Gen Zs.
Because it's a lot. TikTok is a lot,
Totally.
guys. But I think it's kind of fun. We're trying to understand the trends, how it works, and blah, blah, blah. It's a fun way to create new content for the podcast. So if you're on TikTok, why not follow us?
Do give us a follow.
Yes.
So how's your week been, Enzo?
It's been okay. Today, it's been a really calm day.
Sunny. It was very sunny
Sunny.
Today. It's
Amazing.
A slight miracle.
It's
when
like London is sunny again, which is a miracle, true. It's been alright. It's been an okay week.
Yeah.
I'm saying okay a million of times. I don't know what to
Okay.
say about my week.
I'm trying to think if I have anything interesting to update. I've actually nearly finished Schitt's Creek.
Finally!
I've been watching that since April.
Yeah, she's
I'm watching
great.
it since April.
Actually, I'm thinking about to rewatching it. How are you
Really?
feeling? Oh my god, the last season is so good. I really like
I've
it.
got about 10 minutes left, and I'm finding it very I'm having a hard time letting it go. I'm finding it really hard to watch the last 10 minutes.
I
and
understand.
I kind of don't, because I don't want it to end, and I don't really know what to watch next. So if you guys have any recommendations for something that I should watch, please do let me know.
You get really attached, right?
Oh yeah.
We want to talk about our outfits. If you're listening, well,
We are wearing a lot of orange. I'm wearing a, how would you describe
pinky,
this?
orangey,
Like a coral.
Coral.
And yours is like a terracotta.
Terracotta. What a fancy word for coral. Terracotta. Actually, it is a bit like that. It's very like pomegranate as well.
Yeah.
A bit,
It's
not
a bit
softer.
lighter than pomegranate.
Lighter, yeah. It's a bit lighter, but yeah, it's I think
We're blending in
coral.
with the vaginas, because I mean, if you
look at them,
if you're listening and you've never watched us, I feel like you're missing out.
we have
because
vaginas behind
we're
us,
vaginas.
literally thousands of vaginas. We should count them one day
We really should.
and ask you how many vaginas do you think we have here.
And
That's gonna be the next.
It's always such a good conversation starter
Yeah.
for that vagina poster. I'm so glad we bought it.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next Instagram poll we're gonna have. How many vaginas we have behind us? So watch for this space, guy.
Well,
So anyway,
I think
enough chit chat for today.
Exactly.
And who's going first?
I think I'll go first.
Okay, so-
taking the lead. Time for Claire's secret topic of the week. Okay, so my topic. I'm just going to be looking because somebody.
Are you cheating?
Someone whose name rhymes with Schmenschmo forgot to bring the normal iPad again.
Are you okay with the phone?
I can't work the phone. How do you get back onto?
Here, it's like. Okay,
It doesn't have a button.
Then we're pretending like we're gonna get along with the Gen Zs on fucking TikTok, and we can even Well, guys, I'm sorry, I forgot about my iPad today, so we need to use my little iPad, aka my iPhone.
If you're watching, then that's why I'm looking at the tiny iPad again. Well, I'm highly excited about this topic.
Oh, wow,
I've been
okay.
absolutely buzzing
Buzzing.
being an appropriate word for this topic to talk about this.
Okay.
I want to talk about alcohol, and I want to talk about
okay.
our relationship with alcohol. So the reason why I started thinking about this was because we had a big night out on Saturday. Well, big night out for us in our 30s in COVID times. We basically went to 2 bars.
It's not like we were on the tables and dancing.
We weren't at heaven
club.
or something. We were just in 2 bars which were sat
Big
down.
night out. Literally.
We were literally sat down
Not
on
even
sofas.
dancing. So yeah.
We moved from one venue on a sofa to another venue on another sofa, and that was it basically.
Yeah.
But we haven't really been out properly for a while, obviously.
Yeah.
And also, really felt the effects of alcohol the next day. So I've always been like quite a lightweight with alcohol, and this is something that I do want to talk about, but obviously, as you would know, alcohol is such a predominant part of British culture.
Yeah.
So it's just such a big thing, and
bus everywhere, literally in every corner.
It's
so
like
it's culturally
a hobby
right
here.
Yeah.
But I haven't had this for ages, and I was actually really thinking that I really want to bring this up as a podcast topic. I had like a really bad shame over for the first time in ages, and I was like super anxious on Sunday, and I was like, everyone hates me, like I said something wrong, like super badly anxious, which I haven't had for such a long time.
Because maybe COVID times as
well,
right?
And also like we were only ever drinking like you and me here, and like my best friend pretty much, or like his best friend, like in one of our houses, like for a year and a half.
That's it, yeah.
So yeah, it really got me thinking again, and so I've checked with her, and it's completely fine for me to share all of this information, but one of my very good friends called Caddy,
hello Caddy.
Yes, hello Caddy, thank you so much for taking the time to give me all of the information today. But she has actually been sober for nearly 2 years.
Awesome.
And so she sent me like a 20-minute voice note all about her experience and
about quitting alcohol,
like her journey and everything. So basically she said that it's one of the best decisions that she ever made, and she would like never ever turn back.
How old is she, Caddy?
She's 30.
30.
Okay. So it's been a year and 8 months to be precise that she's been sober. So she said that the journey was like not like an instant, like something bad happened and then she just completely quit. It was more of like a process of like drinking slowly, and something that I thought was very interesting that she said was that she started drinking more mindfully, so taking time to really enjoy the alcohol, kind of phasing it out until the point where she stopped drinking around the pandemic as well.
So she was like maybe drinking like better alcohol, like more expensive alcohol,
or just like enjoying it more, like actually, rather than
not just to like get drunk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. And she said that it took around 5 years to come to this decision.
Wow.
And the plus sides for this for her have been huge. So she has read 20 books already this year.
Wow.
She has really seen a big improvement with her mental health. Like she doesn't get any anxiety or anything around that. Sense. She's been to nearly every event that you could think of now, apart from her birthday, sober. So she's done it all.
Yeah.
And I asked her different things about like how people's reactions have been
typical, like why you're not drinking, blah 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 blah.
But actually she said that people have been very very generally supportive. And I don't know if you've seen a lot, I definitely have seen a lot of this more moving in the sort of like wellness space of this thing called the sober curious movement. So it's kind of,
I haven't heard about it.
She made a really good point, Caddy, of saying like you would think that you were sober probably because you're an alcoholic or you have an issue with alcohol.
Oh, okay.
But actually a lot of people, and I read a statistic that said that around 40% of millennials are completely not interested in drinking, and it's even more for Gen Zers.
That's really interesting. The new generation, they really drink, or they don't do drugs either. It's like a different thing.
So that's kind of what I want to talk about. I want to know your thoughts on this. What do you think? How do you feel your relationship is with alcohol?
Interesting. That's a really good topic. I feel like
thank you.
I feel alcohol is always like such a, I don't know why, but alcohol feels such an intense topic in society. Like if, for example, if you're in a group, someone is not drinking. Nowadays, I think it's more difficult in our great age group. But I remember when I was younger, and I have some friends that don't drink. When we were in a place, they were always like, "Why are you not drinking? Why you don't drink? Give this person like a drink. Why you not having fun?" And the person would be like, "Well, I don't like drinking." It's like, no, you will like it. You need to try. So it was always this: let's force the person to drink because it's the right thing to do, and it's something like nowadays I wouldn't do it. Someone tells me like I'm not drinking, I would be like, "Oh, cool." And if something like closer to me or like someone that I like, I mean, it's like, "Oh, may I ask you like why? If I want to go there, if this is space to." Because if it's not drinking, probably has something to do with a decision like this.
Yeah.
So if I want to go there, I definitely would like ask. But normally I think I wouldn't, so that's a thing as well. I like to drink if I'm going to like a party or like a night out, something specific. But like I don't drink at home that much. Mm-mm. Maybe like a random dinner or something.
Yeah.
With my friend or something like that. Or like we do, but it's not something like I always do.
I think we drink a lot together.
We drink a lot together. I think during the pandemic. I think during the pandemic we drink a lot, which is very really cliche thing to say, but a lot of people did. Because we were bored. So we were like drinking every single time we were meeting. We were drinking like a lot. I have like a lot of, I think, my last hangover, I think it was with you probably here.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, do you ever feel that you use alcohol to get you through certain situations?
Not really.
That's really good.
Yeah, not really. I have felt I think I never had that, which is good. Like if I'm feeling sad, let me drink. I don't have that a lot. You know, that type of thing, like, oh, I'm so sad, I need to have a drink to feel better. I think I never had that, which is really positive because I think that's how you start drinking a lot because you're feeling down.
Completely.
It's not because I'm a boy. I don't know. I feel like I can feel better through other things. I think I use more alcohol to have fun when I want to have fun, not to like a tool to feel better if I'm not feeling great.
How about if you were nervous?
No, I don't think so. I don't think, unless it's like, it has to be something really specific because now I'm really nervous. Let me buy some beers and let me bring them to my freezer and to have them during the day. You know, I don't do it.
Okay, interesting. Because I definitely think I do that.
But like, if you're nervous today because you have something to do, you will have alcohol in your fridge.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't really have alcohol at home. Like, I have some alcohol that I've been given as gifts in my fridge right now, and like vodka.
Air quotes. Given. Mm-hmm.
And like vodka that we have left over. Yeah. But like, I don't always have like, Peroni is like my favourite drink. Hashtag cliche, Peroni. But Peroni, I don't always have Peroni in my freezer. Yeah. But like, you know, like...
But you're nervous like before a date or something.
Yeah, completely. That's completely what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So you will drink?
Yeah, if I'm...
Okay, thank God.
Yeah, no. If I'm in a date, I need to drink to get relaxed.
Thank God. Okay, so this is actually... Yeah. So Caddy made a really good point.
Yeah.
Of saying the thing that it really struck me. Like, she number one said, because everyone says, oh, don't you need alcohol to have fun? Which we have pretty much just said, and I would think that. But Caddy made this point of saying, but then she feels like she's super bubbly, super extrovert, very fun anyway, and she doesn't need alcohol to have a good time.
Yeah.
And if you're relying on alcohol in these situations, then perhaps you're not in the right place. And I thought that was
interesting.
A good point. What do you think of that?
I may agree or may not agree with that.
Tell me.
I feel like, especially if it's a date, and if someone that you're meeting for the first time, especially in these like dating times that you're in fucking Tinder or whatever you are on, and you want to meet a random person that you don't know if it's gonna be like maybe like a killer or something, and you know someone so positive, you know, if it will be a killer, if maybe the photos were not true, if the person is actually nothing that I look, you know, there's many things that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
So alcohol will actually make you feel more open to open up to someone that you won't open up normally. You know what I mean? Like, you're not on the tube next to someone and open up randomly. That's not something that you normally do. So you are, when you're dating, you're somehow forcing yourself in this situation to force yourself to introduce who you are to this random person and see if something happens there. You know, I think it's very like not natural thing to do in the same time. So you are like in this like, let's sit together and let's see if we like each other. So I think alcohol helps because obviously alcohol relaxes you.
It's a tricky one though, because that really made me think why for a date, for example, I would definitely need to have a drink before.
I think it's, nervous, because you're nervous to show yourself to someone you don't know, right?
But isn't that a bit unhealthy? It's quite toxic. Yeah, not toxic.
It probably could be a bit unhealthy, yeah. But I think it's the thing of exposing yourself to someone that it's a totally random, you know? You haven't even seen this person in your life.
Yeah.
Ever.
My relationship with alcohol is like, sometimes I don't think I've got a problem with alcohol, but I think I like a drink, which I think you would agree with.
Yeah.
And like, I definitely like to have fun. I will definitely say like, I definitely seek fun. And I remember at the pandemic, at the beginning, I really struggled because I think, again, this is sort of going back, I'm going to leave a link to the cards for our YouTube watchers about hustle culture. So I think I always had, and I think a lot of us have, like in our age in London, this very like work hard, play hard mentality. And I remember feeling so like, what on earth am I meant to kind of do? Like, I've never been like live for the weekend kind of person. That's just not the kind of life I want.
Literally.
I love like my career, but I definitely work really hard, and I know that often my reward is drinking. And again, don't drink on my own. I don't drink on my own at home or anything like that. But it will be that thing of like, oh, thank God, like me and Enzo we're going to go out on Saturday. I'm going to get a drink, or like
that's
a treat. So I remember in the pandemic, I was like, how do I like almost like blow off steam? Caddy told me about this really interesting thing called pink cloud syndrome. It's when a person feels exhilarated or overjoyed during the first or early stages of their recovery. So it was founded by people who were in AA. It's a temporary feeling of euphoria towards their recovery process. So some people might describe it as feeling high on life. The health aspect is a really good point of it, because Caddy also said that, you know, you have these like images on cigarette packets, and when somebody says I've quit smoking, you don't say why, you're like, well done. But when somebody says I don't drink alcohol, they get interrogated or asked why. But like there are so many links, like if you've got any mental health problem, alcohol is a disaster. I mean, for me personally, like I have endometriosis. It's a bloody disaster for endometriosis because it's so inflammatory.
Yeah, of course.
And for everything, you know. Well, Enzo has 1 minute to tell us his thoughts on this topic. So you're good? You ready?
Ready.
Let's go.
I think it's really interesting to rethink our relationship with alcohol in the sense of like the reasons why we drink sometimes. Like I understand, because for me it's related to like fun, as you were saying, going out, having a party, because it really gives you extra energy. But I think it's really interesting when we try to fight a sad emotion or like a sad moment with alcohol that's really negative. But I wonder if we do it because it's just like a cultural thing that's been with us, movies, things around us so much. Like it's same as smoking. So I'm feeling bad, I need to drink. Like why we have this connection? I guess it's something like very cultural and us putting everywhere. And like, I don't know, I think it's a very weird stuff that we need to rethink about a lot.
Interesting point. You've got 10 seconds, please.
Yes, I don't know, like,
anything else?
If you don't want to drink, don't feel fucking pressured by anyone. Tell them to fuck them off. I don't want to drink. And if you want to drink, but please don't be a alcoholic.
Done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Enzito. Lovely recap. I think you're very, it's a good point about, like, you need to really consider your relationship. And that's what, like, my conversation with Caddy has really made me think about, like, why am I using alcohol? In what way am I using alcohol?
Because I mean, we have fun without alcohol all the time.
We really do.
And we have a lot of fun, so we don't need the alcohol.
I'm actually drunk right now. I'm joking. I'm not at all.
Well, actually, before coming today, I was thinking to bring some alcohol.
So was I.
And I was like, shall we have something like, we can share half bottle of wine. Why not? But then I was like, do we need the alcohol? You know,
that's the thing.
I was like, it was like, it's the middle of the week, maybe the health, we just had drinks on Saturday. Maybe it's good the body to rest a bit.
It's also funny, isn't it? Because in that context, I would think, oh, it's nice for us to have a drink together. But I feel so comfortable with you. Yeah. I'm not nervous to see you at all. Yeah. So it's not that.
At all.
It's more like, do you know what it is as well? I think it's that kind of like, oh, we'll film our episode and then me and Enzo will have dinner, and oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a drink?
Well, it's addictive. It's an addiction.
It's like a treat.
It's not like addiction in a sense, but alcohol is addictive as sugar is, and as many other things are. Like,
you feel like you're rewarding yourself.
You're rewarding yourself with these type of things.
It's not really a reward.
No, it's the contrary. Your body's like, let me breathe.
These little bitches again.
Yeah, we're gonna have this healthy vegan dinner with a fucking glass of wine. The body's like, okay, well done, bitch. You're not killing animals, but you're killing myself.
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
Please do tell us in the comments, guys, what you think and what your thoughts are on alcohol and how you use it.
It's time for Enzo's secret topic of the week. So, what I want to talk about this week is something we've been talking about, like, during the weekend. Do you think, like, people can be really bad in bed?
Okay.
Do you think that's a thing? And I'm bringing this up because I think sometimes there's this thing, and it happens, of people saying, oh no, that guy or the woman is really bad in bed. I think it happens more with guys, which is something I want to touch on as well.
Interesting. Well, we got told a celebrity will remain nameless one of my girlfriends told me that a celebrity that we both follow,
it's bad.
Her friend had sex with him, and he was bad in bed. Is that why you brought this up?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
As well. Also because I had this conversation with a cousin, so I found like it was very connected at the same time, kind of thing, right? So I feel like it's an interesting thing to think like someone is bad in bed because he has a bad experience with you. And I wonder if there's something happened to you that you may think or you may say, this man.
Put me in an awkward position, Enzo.
And tell me all the names. Like, there's something specific that happened to you that you feel, oh, that makes a man in this case, or a woman, I don't know if you haven't told me anything.
Okay.
Something bad in bed. Like,
again, I'm going to say, step parents, please log off right now. Get off. I don't want to.
It's the porn episode all over again.
I don't want to know. Have I ever slept with somebody who I think was bad in bed?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think is the main reason this person was bad in bed?
Well, I think I wasn't that into him.
Okay. Valid point.
I wasn't that into him, and I was just going through like a weird phase, like at uni before my long-term ex-boyfriend. I wasn't really into this guy, and also, again, I'm like slowly dying inside, but he was very like just fucking.
Okay, like.
And that is something that I don't like, and I think if you really like the person and they kind of like, because it's about what you like, right? So somebody can't, I don't believe somebody can be bad in bed. I think that's because one person's like...
That's a different connection with the other one,
completely.
Right?
The reason why sex is good is because you can communicate what you want, and they know how to like work with your body, and you know how to work with their body.
And what about like one night stands then? When you don't have the chance to communicate, it's just chances.
I'm not the biggest fan of one night stands. I definitely had one night stands back in the day.
Yeah.
But then I think after, not to be like cringe, I don't know if you will agree with this, but I think once you've been in a like long-term or like a couple of like long-term relationships which are like really loving and happy and healthy, and the sex is really good, it's kind of hard to go back to one night stands. Yeah. Because like... most
of them are...
It can be good. It can be very, very like invigorating and that kind of thing. But for me, it's not quite my vibe.
Yeah. I feel for one night stands, it's more about the context. If in a normal reality, the old reality, I was in a club and something happened, I see this person, bam, bam, one night stand. That's for me interesting. That's fun. That's cool. That's like, But for me, like going to an app and find a guy for one night stand, it's a bit, I never like it, but it's my personality, you know. I'm not a fan of it, and I don't feel these experiences are really like. I mean, sometimes maybe you can meet someone. Oh, that was fun. But it's not my thing either, because I think I really prefer to have certain type of connection with.
We're cringy,
we're just cringy and corny like that. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not judging other ways off. It's just like how you feel. But going back to the point of like being bad in bed, I feel interesting because I get this is very common between like within women. I feel, and I heard a lot of time women saying like, "Oh, the man is really bad in bed," and I think that's what I feel. It's very connected because a lot of men, when they are maybe too like, that sound means like, let's just
the
fucking part. Yeah. It doesn't really satisfy women in the right way, on the way that they feel more satisfied. Completely. So I think, and that's the thing about what they say, like why men are more basic and why women are more complex, because for women, they need more like components to achieve satisfaction.
And I think like a lot of thing as well with women, like from what my girlfriends have said as well, is like women tend to like, because it's not just about the penetration for us, right? It's about the like clitoris and everything else, like your nipples, blah blah blah. And I'm talking about this on the podcast.
Thank you, Enzo. Yeah.
But like more of a build up, like and more foreplay. And I think women say he was bad in bed when it's like a little bit of like oral, for example, and
not
then
even, not even, because I heard that it's very common,
and
right?
then like the penis is in there, and then boom, we're done. Like that. That will probably make women think that he's bad in bed.
Bad in bed. It makes sense. I found like I always hear about women and men saying, "Oh, man," because I never heard like a man saying it's not common to say, "Oh, this woman is bad in bed." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's very strange to hear.
How about get two guys saying that?
That's interesting because I think it's possible. But going back to the topic of men being a bit more basic. Let's not say basic because it's a bit negative. Let's say more simple to satisfy. It's more straightforward to satisfy. You know, for men it's more easy, like penetration, boom, 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 orgasm. It's as easy as that. It's not really like, I mean, overall, of course, it's more easy to reach pleasure because it's like basically like boom, boom, boom.
I get you.
While for women, it can have more elements, but that doesn't mean that the men, they don't need that. Like,
totally.
The thing is, you can have a lot of fun just by doing that.
Yeah.
But to enhance is the word? Enhance. What's it? Enhance.
It sounds quite American.
Enhance, like from the South. To enhance this experience.
Yeah.
You need all the elements as well sometimes. All the other things. The kissing,
completely.
the things, the oral, the touching, foreplay, whatever you think. Do you think you have maybe this is like a questionnaire, like, do you have like at least 3 things that for you are really important in sets to like feel it's gonna be a good session, and it made you think or made you not say like, oh, this guy is bad in bed. I think what are these 3 things the man needs for you to say like, oh, this was good. But also I want to say, like, when someone is bad in bed, I think it's a bit unfair because sex is with 2 people and it's not only one.
Completely. So
I guess maybe that guy did like that thing, but maybe the other guy or the other woman, whatever, or the other 2 women, it's not about, I don't feel it's just one-sided. 100% one-sided, right? Because it's a 2-thing situation.
Oh, that's the thing, because you can't say somebody's bad in bed because it's like, but then what were you doing?
Well, maybe you did something that put that person off, and maybe that's why he's acting what for you.
Or like, why didn't you? And again, this is why one night stands so difficult, because you don't really have like the communication to be like, okay, like, how about we like try this position, or like, can we just stop, or like try a different thing or something like that.
But anyway, going back, 3 things that for you.
I'm going to ask you in a bit. So, 3 things for me that would make sex are a non-negotiable. Yeah,
or like we'll say like, oh, this guy is good.
Good in bed. Okay, so well, number 1, this is very cringy, but it will have to be like a connection that I have with him. Like, I can't have sex with somebody who I don't like admire or like care about or
feel
think is like a good man or something like that. I just won't be able to.
Something that makes you feel like,
or something like, you know, that like that. Then also, oral is really important to me because, again, it's like a chromia river, but because I have endometriosis, as you know, like, penetration is sometimes really difficult for me. Like, it can be quite painful. So I feel like I've always relied on oral quite a lot, both ways, to like do that, because Enzo's like, I'm going to die slowly inside.
Why I bring this topic?
You asked, didn't you? Yeah, and also I need like them to be experimental and fun and like trying different positions and that kind of thing.
So for you, it doesn't have to, like, it has to feel like it has there's many elements. It's not just like basic.
Or like if we're having sex more than once, like I can't just have one. Like, it's like, come on, you need to like try something different. Otherwise, I'm gonna get bored like really, really easily.
Okay.
And,
but will you propose a man to do something different?
Of course.
Cool. Because if you're like, yes. No, because I feel sometimes it's this kind of thing, like the man and the role of the man being the one who has to do things, and the woman needs to expect or wait the man to be great. You know what I mean?
I think it's hard because I think also like there's a lot of like, sorry to offend anyone if it sounds rude, but you know what I mean, like a bit of like fragile male ego.
Yes,
and like
it comes from that
in
as well.
Like heterosexual relationships. Yep. So, but I definitely am not gonna like suffer through something that is not working for me at all. But also like I'm 30 years old. I'm kind of past that. Like I would have done back in the day, but now no. But again, that comes with like time and communication and intimacy and trust. Definitely. What about you? Go. 3 things that a guy must.
I think first it has to be a fun person. I don't like when sex is super serious. It's not like it's a comedy show. We need to laugh while we're having sex. But I like it to have like a free vibe to it.
Like playful.
Playful. Like if we have to laugh in the middle of it, it's fine. If it's something, it's weird. Ha ha ha. I like that. I don't, because I don't like to feel tension in that situation. It's like, why you have to feel like, you know, unless it's like you are going to let's play a role and it's gonna be like we're gonna be mean or whatever.
You would be cringing at that, though.
I think. But you know what I mean? I can like, if that's the tone of it, I get it. But if it's just like let's have sex, I just like it to be kind of relaxed and open and kind of free. I don't like to feel like something wrong happened. We're like, oh my god, it's like, no. If it's something weird happen, ha ha ha, just like whatever, funny. Yeah, I get you. That's one thing I think it's important. Second, I think it's very cliche, but the communication is important. Like the vibe more than the communication.
Yeah.
It needs to feel like it just flows. I think it happens sometimes with people which I may say like, oh, that person was bad in bed. It's probably because I wasn't connecting with the person. It's probably that's what I feel. Or what happened to me in the past. I feel like there's no vibe with this person, so of course it's gonna be bad in bed.
But no vibe with their personality.
For example, there's not something that grabs you. So, I mean, it could be maybe a beautiful person, but there's not something in the personality that's a bit off.
Yeah.
So you may be like, just do it because I don't know, you want to have sex, or you know this person is hot, but actually you don't feel more. So I think you know what I mean. So I think it has to have this change of good energy. It sounds all very hippie, but it's true. You know, I think that's because for me, I can't just block myself and be like, it's like, let's have sex. You know, like, no, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it has to have something.
Totally.
And third, number 3, I like the part, I feel like I'm copying yours, but I think also there are things that people are looking for. But I think, being like open to try new stuff. I think very open-minded, which can be difficult in the sense of, well, sometimes the other person may not like what you like.
I know.
And that is the compromise also. I need to be with someone that will be 100% open to compromise as I will. Not maybe not all the time, but open to say like, you know, I hate this. But it will be like, well, but let's try a bit and see how it happens. You know, being open to, even if you hate it, I mean, you can voice it. And I'm very like, I will say if I don't like it, because I'm like, that would be like, I don't like that. You know, like, that it is what it is. I won't like shut up.
Has anyone ever told you that you're bad in bed?
No, I haven't never heard that in my life. No, really, I haven't.
And there's like, I'm from fucking Venezuela. They don't do that like that. That's not a thing where I come from.
Fucking Venezuela. Then I have this Italian heritage. Then it's like, what do you expect to happen here? This is magic, okay?
Hilarious,
no, I think I never. I mean, I never been told. I never heard. Yeah. But I've been with people. I haven't told them, but I've been with people that I believe like they're bad in bed.
And what was bad for you? Like, why didn't you like it?
I think because it felt awkward, just a bit. But maybe the person felt awkward because it felt awkward with me. You know, like.
Yeah, that's very nice and self-aware of you.
You know what I mean? Like maybe. I felt like the moves, you know, like nothing flowed. Nothing was flowing. It happened to me.
The
like
worst.
It's like
it's so clunky.
It's like, are we having sex, or this is like a, you know, like a contemporary dancing situation?
No.
You know, like everything is like. But it may be the person. Maybe the person is super awkward and not like whatever. But maybe it could be you. That's the thing. You always need to. I mean, not always, but. It's not like always. But I think you also need to think, if you want to think, why something was bad. If you had a part of it, and I feel you always had a part of it as well, because
it's more about the both of you. You're completely right. Like, it's about the energy together, not about like them, you, me. It's like it's a shared activity, isn't it?
Unless it's, but again, if the person is just like boom slapping you and you hate to be slapped, for you, that person was really bad in bed because he was slapping me without asking me. So that's the thing,
of course.
But then the person likes that, and you don't like it. So that's what makes you think.
Communication, though, isn't it?
It's complicated because obviously, I mean, unless it's just slapping you because it wants to like actually hurt you. But if it's like, you know, like spank or something, and you really hate that, but how the person will know that if you don't tell them, for example, you know, that's the thing about like, is this a really person by the bed? Or I don't know, maybe. And
it's really hard when you like them as well, isn't it? To be like, and I think that's why people can get into such like difficulties, and I think that's a real beauty about getting older. Because I think back in the day, especially as a woman, I would definitely, like I said before, like I would definitely do things and nothing that crossed the line, but I feel like actually like that was actually probably like a bit painful. But because I liked them, I would, my God, if I ever have a daughter, I will literally be like, you will do what you want, like you will tell them. I can't, like the horror, like it's, but that is kind of like such a reality, and I think
it's like learning curve as well.
Also reality for women of like, that we need to have the tools, like young girls need to have the tools to be like that really isn't working for my body, like this is not okay, and like I don't really care how much I like you, like no, and being able to, because that's where it all kind of comes from, and it all comes from like patriarchy and like pleasing men and all of that kind of stuff, but that's such a vital thing to teach women, I think, to be like, sorry, but that's like, I'm not feeling it,
that's really important thing, like Claire for president. I'm telling you. No, it's very important. I do believe it's something that we should talk more about it for sure. And well, after all this sex conversation, Claire, if you have something else to say, I guess we always have something else to say about sex.
Completely.
You got 60 seconds to tell whatever you think is your last thoughts about this topic. About sex, men being bad in bed, are people really bad in bed, etc. Go.
I think just to kind of carry on the point that I was saying about kind of giving girls the information and like giving girls the tools to say like this isn't working for me, I really think that we do boys a disservice as well of just telling them that like you need to just like fuck a woman and like just fuck her until like you come basically, and like don't worry about her pleasure. I think that's because like you said, like for guys as well, it's important to be like romanced and have like foreplay and like be gentle if like that's something that like you want. So I think that it works both ways, so that's really important. Definitely. And I just wish that like, again, always education would change in that way. Also, I think, like we said, it's really unfair to say somebody's bad in bed, and I actually think it's really offensive because it is a 2-person or however many person like activity, you know, and it does take two. And sex I think it's always about, you know, communication, but just like as always, kind of like do whatever you want, but in a way that feels right for you and is respectful to everyone.
Yes,
get it. That's it. Wow, the levels of like cringe.
I mean, in the whole topic of like hearing about celebrities being bad in bed is like a whole other thing, I guess.
So mean, isn't it?
Even though there's people that you look at them and you may think, oh, this person will be good in bed.
McKelly and Bad Bunny. Don't you think Bad Bunny would be good in bed?
Probably.
Wouldn't he?
You know, McKelly, I wonder, like, I think because you think about it because of the movie. Because in the movie, he seems to be really good in bed. But I wonder if he actually is, or if he's just an acting. Maybe,
that's the
maybe
thing.
He's a really good actor after all.
Yeah,
bless
so
everyone. I hope you all having fun. Having lots of sex this week. And guys, thank you to listen to this episode. Please remember all the things we told you at the beginning to do.
Totally.
And thank you and see you.
Yeah, see you next week, guys.
Bye-bye. See ya.
Bye.